Hi everyone. Today I would like to read out of The Power of Neuroplasticity by Shad Helmstetter. And I'm not sure I ever read about this book out of this book, but it's one of my favorite. And as you can see, I even underline in this book and I write in this book because it is really very inspiring and it gives a lot of information. And I would love to read chapter 8. The 7 rules of neuroplasticity, the rules for wiring positive programs. A lot of people always ask me, but yeah, I know this program's fine, but how do I change that? So let's see what Shad Helmstetter has to say about that. And he starts with referring to the previous chapter. So I really recommend that you read the book because it's really very good. In the previous chapters, we've discussed how neuroplasticity works, some of the influences you face every day, the importance of mental programming in your personal growth, and the powerful role your autopilot plays in creating your day-to-day life. Knowing that, what can you do about it? So here is the solution. One of the most helpful things we've learned about neuroplasticity is that there are specific rules to follow. If you want to deliberately wire your brain with the right programs, practicing these rules helps those programs to be imprinted more rapidly and lastingly. These 7 rules of neuroplasticity will help you deliberately take control over your thoughts, your programs, and their outcome in your everyday life. They come to us from studies in neuroscience in which researchers have identified the basic requirements for improving neuronal, oh my God, that's that's for me a tongue twister. Neuronal growth. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Can you imagine? I should also rewire that in my brain. All of these rules work together and complement each other. So you get the best results when you pay attention to all of them, which is a challenge, of course. It's 7 rules. If you follow these rules, set goals, and program yourself for positive results, you will begin to get more out of your life and your dreams than you may ever have thought possible. The 7 vital elements for wiring positive programs are the following: mindfulness, choices, intention, focus, repetition, emotion, and belief. I'm going to read them again. Mindfulness, choices, intention, focus, repetition, emotion, and belief. All these elements have to do with how the mind and the brain interact to create new programs. All of them begin with what takes place in your mind. As I said, everything starts in the mind. So to apply them, you think about them. The result is that you consciously help your brain create and store more of the programs you want. Another reason to actively practice these 7 rules is that when you do, you're no longer leaving the program of your neural pathways up to randomness or up to your brain's old programs. Applying these rules puts you in control. When you're in control, you're able to create programs that are healthy, strong, and positive, and they'll be the programs that you choose. With the right programs, the right actions, you will naturally follow suit. To acquaint yourself with the 7 rules, answer the questions in this short questionnaire. And I think it's very important to just pause the video after every question and do the homework for yourself because it's going to help you rewire your brain. Am I consciously mindful? Am I always aware that my thoughts are programming my brain? Think about it. Are you aware of that? Are you mindful? Do you realize it in every single minute? I don't, to be honest. So I would just suggest like listen to the questions and then afterwards go back, listen to the question again, and then pause and sit for a second and think about it. Second question, am I making my choices consciously, or are my old unconscious programs making them for me? In the previous chapter, Shad Helmstetter gives a lot of information on how most of the time we are just unfolding the program that is in our minds. Even though we think we are consciously choosing, we are not. And he explains how that works. So again, big suggestion on my part to go and read the book. Number 3, do I know exactly what my intention is? Do I know exactly what I want? Do I know the goal? You know, that's one of my pet peeves. Like, are you clear? Are you crystal clear on what you want? Do you know what you want? Do you know where you're going to? If you don't know where you go, you're never going to get there. So how clear are you? What is your intention? Number 4, do I focus on my goals and on the programs that I want to create? Are you focused on your goal? Sometimes we have a goal, we write it out, we put it on a paper, and then the whole day we forget about it and we just unfold the programs that we are running, and we're not even consciously aware that we are working towards something else. Number 5, am I using repetition to create the program I want to create? Nothing is going to work without repetition. You have to do it over and over and over again. It's like learning how to ride a bike. You try, you fall, you get up. You try, you fall, you get up. You get up, you get up, you get up. And it's about the getting up every single time. You need to do it over and over and over again. Repetition is how you get those programs rewired. Number 6, am I adding positive feelings and emotions to the program I'm creating? How do you feel? You know, the feeling is a secret, says Neville Goddard. So how are you adding positive feelings? Number 7, do I have strong positive belief in the outcome? Like, what do you want? What do you want? And do you believe that you really can do it? Even if you don't believe it, you have to believe it. That's the key. Okay? Asking yourself those questions frequently will help you recognize and practice the most important rules of neuroplastic programming. So I would recommend, again, buy the books, look at it, write it down, and think about it. Mindful choices, intention, focus, repetition, emotion, believe. That's the sequence. That's what you do. The more you're aware of these 7 elements, the more you think about them and practice them, the more quickly you'll take personal control over your programs and begin to change them, along with changing the actions you take. This is an enlightening introduction to the process of rewiring your brain. When you practice the 7 rules of neuroplastic programming, you'll begin to discover what you and your brain are actually able to accomplish when you work together. It is so true. Knowing the rules of the mind, how you set everything up, is just crucial in changing your life, in reaching the goals that you have set for yourself, in living your dream. You'll be able to notice a difference in who is really in control of your brain almost immediately. Awareness is key. Awareness, mindful, be mindful. What am I thinking? What's going on in my mind? You'll also find that none of the 7 rules is difficult to practice. Mastering all of them is worth it, and all of them count. Remember, repetition creates habit, and the whole point is to get you on autopilot, which controls your unconscious choices and actions, working for you instead of against you. You know how sometimes you're driving the car and you have a friend next to you, and you're talking, and while you're talking, you are driving the car. You see everything, you're completely oblivious because you're not really paying attention. You're talking and you're having a conversation, and all your focus is on that conversation, but still you are driving that car even through bad traffic, and you see everything and you make the right choices. Why? Because you learned how to drive the car. In the beginning, it wasn't that conscious. You couldn't talk, you couldn't listen to music while you were learning how to drive the car. But then it became, by repetition, so wired in your system that you can do it blind. well, I would recommend that you don't drive blind, but you know what I mean. The description of each of the rules and how to apply them, as I've outlined them for you in the following chapters, will help you master each of them. So now he's going to go on and he's going to talk about every single rule in depth. And I'm going to do that for you in the next video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is mindfulness, the vital role of awareness. So stay tuned. And in the next video, we're going to go deeper in rule number 1. Have a wonderful day, you guys. And I hope you just go and get the book, because it's going to give you a lot of information on how to rewire your brain so that you can live the life that you want, using the rules for you instead of against you. Bye, everyone.